Good evening, folks, and welcome to our Thanks. Good evening, folks, and welcome to our church. I was reminded that we don't have a sign out in front, so if you were coming to the Reed City United Methodist Church, you have found us, and we're glad you're here. We do hold worship services Sunday at 9:30 in the morning and invite you to join us here in the sanctuary or online, Facebook, or on the radio at 10 o'clock. So there's my little promo for that. A couple of quick announcements before I introduce Matthew. Just a reminder that Vacation Bible School is coming up, and it's an overnight at Camp Albright this year, so we're really excited about that. Linda would be glad to tell you about all the ways you can help, so please see her if you're interested. The date, I'm sorry, it is, let me make sure because it was changed, August 15th and 16th at Camp Albright. And then next Thursday, on the 25th, we have our blood drive, and it's time again for that. We're reminded that there is an emergency need in the summer, especially because schools aren't in session, people are on vacation, there are accidents, sorry to say, and there have been a huge increase in the number of organ transplants in our hospitals, and so that blood need has not been satisfied. If you're able to donate, please come between 11:15 and 4. We'd be glad to take you. There are sign-up sheets out there on that table if you want to sign up for an appointment, or we take in walk-ins as you're able to, and as we're able to accommodate them. So we hope to see a lot of you there. I'm holding my phone to remind all of us to silence them. So if you haven't done so, please do so. And at this point in time, I'm really glad to welcome Matthew Dickinson, who is a serious hammer dulcimer player. We all miss our Rosemary Todd, who was our organ player for so many years, and we haven't really had dulcimer in our sanctuary since she passed. So we're really glad that Sadie reached out, or Matthew reached out to Sadie first, and we're glad to have him here. And to support his music ministry and his abilities and talents, we'd like to remind you that there is a free will offering that you can contribute to support him in the narthex there on upon your exit. He also has some recordings available, and I don't know how much they cost, but I'm sure that you'll share that information. Those are on the circular table in the narthex. Did I leave anything out? Matthew's going to tell his story, so with that, I'll turn it over to Matthew with our thanks for you being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So good to be here this evening. This is the first time that coming up here to Michigan, I've done anything outside of Everett. So it's great to get out here and see some other folks and perform for you all. It blesses my heart. So thank you so much for having me. That opening piece was a Celtic Irish piece by Turlough O'Carolan, who was a blind harpist in the 1800s. And the name of that is Carolan's Draft. It was one of the earlier tunes that I learned playing. I grew up playing Irish music. It was just a liking that I had. I would go rent, or borrow rather, from the library recordings when I found the Hammer Dulcimer, and they were all Irish Hammer Dulcimer CDs, so that's where I picked up that piece from and kind of put my own twist on it. So at the age of 10, the first musical instrument I started playing was the guitar, and I got into Celtic Irish fingerstyle guitar, which a lot of these songs like Turlough O'Carolan's pieces is what I had got started on, and then went to penny whistle, which we'll get to hear in a minute. And then from there, at age 14, is when I started playing the Hammer Dulcimer from one that I had built from a piano, but we'll get back to that a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and play another Turlough O'Carolan piece. This one's called Carolan's Quarrel with the Landlady. Maybe it was something to do with his draft. So before I knew what a hammer dulcimer was, I played one of these, and which was perfect because I was homeschooled and I couldn't handle the hole in the back. So this is a penny whistle, not a recorder. It sounds like this. This is Fisher's hornpipe. Thank you. Thank you. That was one of the first tunes I learned. Not that fast. Thank you. I think the very first tune I learned on the whistle was a song called Arran Boat. And it's in a minor, and it goes like this. Sometimes I set these in the wrong spot. It's been a number of years since my grandfather passed away. It was a little hot there. And his favorite tune was Danny Boy. He was very proud of his Irish heritage, even though he was mostly English, but no one ever told him that. So I remember playing this just a couple days before his passing. So I usually dedicate this to my grandfather. Thank you very much. So, starting Irish music. Let's go back to the dulcimer. I had not ever seen or heard of one before. Anybody here not heard of a hammered dulcimer? It's because you live a few miles down the road from Everett, Michigan. This is the first and only crowd, I'm sure, that I've ever played in front of. Well, nobody raised their hand. I was going to say, usually it's like, oh, look, there's somebody who knows what this is. So you all know more than a lot of people in the United States, right? Is that one way you can look at it? Everywhere I go, what's a hammered dulcimer? We call and we email different venues and churches and retirement communities around the United States, and usually their first response is, what's that? It wasn't hammer dulcimer. And I was no different. I didn't know what a hammer dulcimer was. I had seen one at, it was a music festival, but it was a reenactment cabin where the lady that was in period clothing had a hammer dulcimer in there. She let me play hers, and she told me she had a Masterworks, which Russell Cook, who started Masterworks Dulcimers, was a cabinet maker who found a piano on the side of the road and made a hammer dulcimer for himself and a couple friends. And I thought to myself, as a 12-year-old, I can do that. Why not, right? So it took a while, but at age 14, I coerced my dad and my brothers to help me get this water-damaged, moldy piano out of the basement of a small Baptist church. And we brought it home, and I took the thing apart and made myself a hammer dulcimer. And I played that for a couple years before getting myself a Masterworks, and then getting this one here to compete in the national championship in 2012. So yeah, it's been a fun journey since. So more to that story, but we're going to keep going here. As I played hammer dulcimer, the place I got out and got to play it in front of folks was church. So what better place for people to put up with you learning? Thankfully, it's not like a violin where it's real squeaky, right? Anybody can get in front of a hammer dulcimer, and it sort of sounds good, right? For the most part. But it's it's not going to squeak. But it did give me the chance to get out in front of people and play at these hymn sings. So I'm going to go ahead and play this next set of music here. This is going to represent some of those songs that I grew up with when I was 15, 16, 17 years old, going to these prayer meetings, hymn sings, or just around the campfire. We're going to kick this off with "'Tis So Sweet to Trust in Jesus." Thank you. I didn't write that one. That was Come Thou Fount. So let's see, we had, I can't remember all the songs I played. Tis So Sweet. You're going to help me out. Holy, Holy, Holy. Yeah, you guys knew them. Oh, okay, I don't need to say anything. I can just play music, right? Thank you. So getting into playing in front of people, I think, is very difficult. I think it's difficult for anybody. There's a statistic, it's really weird. It's like people have more of a fear of public speaking or being up in front of people than they do of dying. Now, I don't know where that poll came from, but I believe it's true. But I do appreciate those opportunities to do that and play those hymns and grow up with those songs. I'm going to end off the set with one more, and this shows kind of a special technique. I've been hitting my dulcimer up to this point, but now I'm going to do some plucking. And so this is what I call like a bell-like tone. I put my thumb on the instrument and I pluck it, and it kind of creates a neat effect. This is My Father's World. Thank you. I got a little tears in my eyes. I don't know if that's pride or if that's just I like music. Thank you. That was, I said that This Is My Father's World was going to be the last one of that set. Well, I lied. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to jump into some fun stuff. See if you guys recognize this next one. You all heard Buddy Holly, right? All right, let's do this. Well, you know what, to pull this off, can I switch these mics? I'm going to sing. All right, let's do that. Behave. I'm going to give Aaron, make him work tonight. Now he's got to switch all his settings. There we go. Or, I could just switch the mics. You already changed it, didn't you? Oh, here we go. You sure? Yeah, okay.
Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day it's getting faster. Everyone said go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. A little longer, every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Love like yours will surely come my way.
Thank you. We got a puppy dog in the audience. Here's another one you guys might recognize, made popular by Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Hanalei. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Hanalei. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff, and brought him string and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Hanalei. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Annalee.
You ever hear the Kermit the Frog? You're about to hear him again.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us, da-dum-bum.
We're going to end it. Thank you. You all heard that one before, right? Thank you. Can I switch him now? No, I'm kidding. I'm just going to carry it over here. We have a very willing sound man. To a point, I'm sure. The hammered dulcimer. How did it get here? What is it? And how is it? The instrument is historically known as a centaur, probably developed somewhere around modern-day Turkey, so prior to the reign of Constantine in the Eastern Roman Empire. So our thoughts are probably around the time of David. So you're looking at about 1,000 years prior to Christ, is their assumption based on historical findings. The instrument spread throughout different regions of the world as it was, Turkey is very much like a pinch point coming down out of Europe into Asia for the spice routes and into the Middle East and down into Africa. And it is known across the world most popularly as a centaur. You won't hear this much because we hear of instruments like a cymbalum or a hackbrett or a yangqin, but we don't usually hear of the centaur. But everywhere south of the border from here, it's called a centaur. In Mexico, they call it a centaur. In Colombia, in Brazil, in Argentina. Over in Africa, it's a centaur. In India, it's a centaur. And you get the idea, right? Countries known as the Western world usually have either a hammered dulcimer or a hackbrett. And that would be a German, it's pretty much just German, or a cymbalum, that would be Eastern Europe, but also you see that further over into Poland and Germany as well. In the Far East, you have an instrument called a yangqin. Now, I'm throwing all these names at you. They're all kind of the same idea. You have an instrument with exposed strings that you strike, but they all vary a bit. Some are small, some are larger, some have long hammers that are flexible with cotton swabs at the end to kind of around the instrument like that, right? So you're going to get very different sounds. Scales vary. Like a centaur in the Middle East is going to sound something like this. What's the scale? Don't play as much. Something like that, right? Yeah, there it is. They sing like that. Matches the whatever vocal thing they do. So yeah, so they're going to vary a bit. I struggled a little bit because this is a westernized instrument. We have the Western scale on it. And so those sort of variations you'll find. So that's the history of the instrument. That's what we know of it. But furthermore, the piano was developed from this family of instruments. They simply automated the hammered dulcimer. So next time you are talking to somebody and they're asking you, what is a hammered dulcimer? Tell them, well, the best way to put it is a piano is a hammered dulcimer in a coffin. But it's just automated the keys of the front. So historically, you go back, you see the clavichord and the harpsichord, and eventually a piano automating the different features of the inside of how the hammers kind of bob back and forth and get you the sound that you have now for the modern-day piano. But something that you may notice while I play here this next few songs is the exposed strings, as you saw when I was plucking it, gives us a lot of abilities. So I'm going to play a song here, and this is the song I won at the national championship. It was the last song I played, and it's a song you'll recognize. It goes like this. There we go. Practice for VBS. There we go. Okay. No, I'm not going to play that like that. I played it a little different. I played it like this, and I call it When I'm Happy and I Know It. Uh-oh. I had this tuned to a C natural. It's supposed to be C sharp. you. So yeah, a little crazy. You might win something. So this next song kind of has a similar feel and theme to it, and it's the first song I wrote. Like, okay, I arranged that, right? But that's kind of like a mix of something else, right? So this I had developed over a long period of time. And writing music, sometimes it comes to you like right away, like the whole song. And other times it takes years. This one kind of took years, but I can say it was the first song I kind of came up with. It just took years to develop to this point. And so right before I made my second album, I wanted to put it on there, but I wanted to call it something. So because of the way the song like jumps around, we call it Leapfrog. And it starts like this. Thank you. Another song that, along the similar lines, but not quite so long, I'd say probably over the course of about 2 years, I developed another one. The main theme kind of comes to you right away, but like all the parts have to come together. So this is a 3-part song I'm about to play, and I call it the Pirate Jig, because, I mean, well, it sounds like, you know, piratey. But I only ever play it if my audience does one thing for me, if you can do this, all right? Breathe a little, get your lungs full. Ready? You just need some gusto here. I want you to say, "Arg." Hey, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, that was pretty good. All right, I'll do it. Thank you. So I got married, and now we have kids. My wife is wonderful, and I love, that was close, all of my babies. We have 5 children. Number 6 is on the way in November. We have 3 boys, 2 girls, and who knows? If you subscribe to us on Facebook, we'll let you know. If you have a Facebook account, we'll post that there as well. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio. Well, Pennsylvania, then Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, my parents moved me. I couldn't help that, okay? And then before I got married, I moved down close to my wife's family in Aiken, South Carolina. We were doing music full-time until the pandemic, and all of our gigs were canceled, so I had to go back to Dayton and work at my brother's landscape company for the next several years. And it was good because I got to learn some new skills doing that, transferring the business from paper over to digital. I did a lot of more managing, business development, and appreciated that, but it took me away from music because it was a lot of work. I worked a lot of 12-hour days. And even if I had time to come home, I was working on our new house. But in September of last year, we made the move back south again to be close to my wife's folks, and now we live in Augusta, Georgia, which is across the river from Aiken, South Carolina. And so now we live in Georgia. So I came up here from Georgia, and we're getting to participate in the Fun Fest here next door to you guys. And yeah, wonderful opportunity to come over and play for some folks. So I'm going to have to wrap up the evening, though. It looks like we're already 7:30 something. So it's been so fun playing for you all. I really appreciate you coming. I do have CDs on the back table there. If you do stream, I am on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you have a subscription to. You can look up my name there as well. The CDs are 15 or 2 for $25. And yes, this is a donation-based thing. So if you have extra to give or like to help me out here on the road, pay for my gas, really appreciate it. There's a basket back there. So I'm going to go ahead and end with one more tune. This is Endless Day. It is on my latest album, So Sings My Strings. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. The end.
Wasn't that delightful? That was wonderful. Thank you so much. We're a church group, aren't we? Can we dismiss with a prayer? Our Heavenly Father, we give thanks for this day and the joy that it's brought to us. We give thanks for comings and goings and ask that you bless them. Especially right now, we give thanks for this time together and fellowship and for the delight of the music brought by those that you've gifted with such gifts. We give thanks for our ability to hear them and certainly for Matthew and his ability to provide them. And in all of this, we give thanks in the name of your precious Son. Amen. Thanks again.